In Chapter 2, we learned about the classic pattern: introduction, body, and conclusion. So why is it called the classic pattern? Let's take a closer look. What do you think of when you hear the word classic? Words like old, timeless, or traditional come to mind. Maybe images like a classic car, or a classic movie, or maybe a fashion style. So with all these examples, it shows something that is always around. It never goes out of style and is instantly recognizable. In other words, it's something we can always use. The same can be said about the classic pattern in writing. Whether it be a letter, an email, a novel, or an essay, they all follow the same pattern: introduction, body, and conclusion. Even your textbook follows this basic pattern. Each chapter starts with an introduction, the topic is explored, and then there is a conclusion. What that means is, as a writer, you will always know what format to use, no matter what context or rhetorical option you choose. To illustrate, let's look at the TED Talk, 4 Reasons to Learn a New Language by John McWhorter. This presentation has an introduction, 4 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. But wait, you say, we've always been taught the 5-paragraph model: introduction, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. And there are more than 5 paragraphs here. You're right. Each body paragraph, with the exception of number 2, is made up of several paragraphs. That is okay. What is important to note is the speech itself still follows the classic pattern of introduction, body, and conclusion. When we are looking at body paragraphs, we write as many as needed to discuss, explain, or prove the main point. It might be 1 or it might be 5. It all depends on what the purpose of your essay is. So you need to provide as much information as needed in order to succeed in your purpose. So let's take a look at body 1 in this presentation. In this body paragraph, McWhorter is speaking about 2 related ideas: the idea that language gives us a worldview, and to truly experience culture, we can only do so through culture. Each idea needs several paragraphs to explain. If he wrote all of this into 1 paragraph or spoke it all at once, we would not want to read it or listen to it. It's too long and it's too complicated. Breaking 2 bigger ideas into several paragraphs is easier for the listener to understand, and it gives him more opportunities to explain his point more fully. Now that we know the classic pattern, we can transfer the details from the presentation into a classic pattern outline. So to review, the classic pattern is found in all writing in English. It may come in slightly different forms and have different purposes, but it follows the same pattern. As a student, now that you know what basic pattern to use, you can better decide your purpose and what context to use in order to fulfill your writing purpose. Happy writing!